What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today is St. Patrick's Day. So to celebrate the occasion, I thought I would review two beers that are kind of St. Paddy's Day inspired, so to speak. And the first one I'm reviewing comes from Guinness, and they, of course, are out of Ireland, and this is their Foreign Extra Stout. So this is a Foreign Extra Stout that comes in at 7.5% alcohol by volume, 47 IBUs, and at the time of review, this bottle is approximately 4 months old. So when it comes to Guinness, I enjoy the draft. It's solid. I enjoy it. You know, one of the first beers I ever had, actually. But for me, this is where it's at. I love Foreign Extra Stout. Every time I have it, I'm reminded of, to me, how much better it is than the Guinness Draft. And yeah, I thought it would be a good idea to review this one. Now, I haven't reviewed the Guinness Draft, but when I saw this one, it was hard to pass up. We'll talk about the price at the end, but let's just say, pretty good price for this one. At least I thought so. So let's crack this one open, get it into the glass, and see what we got going on here. So, yeah. I'm pumped. This is always a tasty beer. I mean, full disclosure, I've had this beer numerous times, but it's been a little while since I've bought some of it. So I thought I would review it. So let's give it a nice pour. Generate a nice head. A little bit of an aggressive pour there, but I'm into it. So that pours out. It's going to be on camera, pitch black. In person, it's like a really dark brown into like a light black. There's some tinges here at the bottom that, you know, you can see that isn't straight pitch black. Has about a 3.5 finger of this gorgeous mocha colored head. Super creamy and just delectable looking. I mean, it just looks fantastic. I'm actually glad I went with the aggressive pour there because it looks fantastic even if the head's a bit too big. Let's get a nose. Yeah, I mean, the thing I like about this beer, to me personally anyway, is that I usually get a lot of, like, not a lot of dark fruits, but I get like this really nice sweet dark cherry. And I love that note in any kind of like darker beer, any kind of stout. Roasted malt for sure. A little bit of an earthiness, like bitter and chocolate, caramel. Yeah, roasted malts, chocolate, caramel, sweet dark cherry. Touch of maybe molasses. Yeah, it smells really good. Yeah, it just smells like it smells like a beer that's familiar to me because it is. And it just has a richness to it. It's not over the top. There isn't 7,000 different characters here. There's, 4 or 5, but it has such a cohesive, nicely balanced aroma to it that it makes it very inviting. So I'm going to get into it. Cheers, everybody. Yeah, just a damn tasty beer. The mouthfeel, medium, higher side of medium body, appropriate for 7.5%. The mouthfeel has a decent amount of carbonation, but it also has like a soft, smooth kind of sensation to it. Right up front, all that roasted malt. It's heavily roasted too on my palate, right at the tip of the tongue. As it continues on through the palate though, that chocolate comes in, more of like a baker's chocolate, little bittering chocolate. Sweeter caramel, almost brown bread notes as well. And then mid-palate, I'm hit with that, like, sweeter dark cherry. On the second half of the palate, like, most of that sweetness kind of hits, like, mid-palate for me, like, maybe, I don't know, 25%, 50% into the palate. So at the tip of the tongue, it's like that roasty kind of, malt character and a little bit of that bittering chocolate, but then it gets sweeter with the caramel, the brown bread, and the sweet dark chocolate, or the sweet black cherry. But in the second half of the palate, it kind of dries out to a semi-dry, almost full-on dry finish. Jesus, that was a beater of a car. Probably picked it up on camera, but yeah, it's just one of those beers that on the second half of the palate, it has like a moderate bitterness to it to balance out the sweetness. So it's like bitter, sweet, bitter, and like I said, semi-dry to full-on dry finish. 7.5%, getting a little bit warming in chest, not really astringent on the palate, but super easy to drink. Look at the lacing, it's a beautiful beer. So it isn't to me, like an amazing, mind-blowing beer, but it might be for some of you out there. I know a lot of people who really enjoy this one. For me, it's probably my favorite Guinness beer that I've had, or definitely up there as one of my favorite. It's just always well made. Every time I pick it up, I'm just I'm happy with it. I'm never disappointed by this one. It always has, I've never had any off flavors, never had like a bad batch of it. It's always well made, always tasty, and much of the same today. So I'm going to give a Foreign Extra Stout from Guinness a straight up 4.25 out of 5. I think it's a beer that deserves that rating. It's really tasty. I enjoy it every single time I grab it, and today is no different. So if you've had this one before, let me know what you think about it. Meanwhile, the price and availability on this one, wherever you see Guinness, you should be able to find this one. And price point, this is where it was awesome for me. This, because of St. Patrick's Day, was on sale. $6.99 a 4-pack. $7 a 4-pack. That's less than $2 a bottle for something that has this quality and just this taste and just, like I said, extremely well made. Yeah, for less than $2 a bottle, it's worth it. I think normally these are $8 or $9, somewhere like that in my area. So even at slightly over $2 a bottle, still a damn good deal. So yeah, like I said, if you've had this one before, let me know what you think about it. This one isn't like crazy complex to me, but there is enough flavors here to always keep me interested. And I like the the roasted malt and the chocolate and the sweeter dark cherry for me is kind of what gets me in this one. And yeah, I'm just really happy about it. So hopefully everybody out there is having a good St. Patrick's Day, although with this coronavirus, I know a lot of parades and celebrations have been canceled. So hopefully you're at home, at least enjoying yourself and maybe drinking a beer, maybe even this beer. Anyway, appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review. To the next one, cheers. Also be on the lookout for that other St. Patrick's Day inspired review later on tonight. Cheers.